All right, hello everyone, and I hope you guys have a good weekend. It's Saturday morning where I am right now. I've done a few videos like this before, short ones, and I thought it might be another one, a good one to, just kind of remind how this setup works out. First of all, if you've taken technical analysis from me, you understand where the market is going. This is gold. And we said we've got room to go up, and I talked about this level before. Also, this is your Saturn and Mercury line, as you can see, nice and easy holding together. So I said once this sector breaks out, we've got room to push up, and also coming back down to go up was an option today. So on Friday, I did mark some levels. This level came in all the way from the day before. Remember, I drew this either on Thursday, I think it was Thursday, because this is where the market tapped into, and this was the Astro hour, and this was also an Astro hour. Now, this is a 1 hour chart, and the reason I'm using the 1 hour chart is very simple. On the 1 hour chart, if you're using your ATAM strategy, if you have the hour, you can see your clock anyway here. All right, so you're going to know when you want to enter the trade. The beautiful thing here is your PST will draw the lines here. All right, so on the 1 hour chart, you'll get these and you'll see where the market is going to price itself before it's going up. Okay, same thing will happen on a 15-minute chart. If I choose this on a 15-minute chart, and if I want to sharpen up where I'm entering the trade, I can always use the ATM indicator to dip to the low. Why? Because we want to buy cheap. Okay, so I want to buy cheap, and then we want to go to our target. So when the market is coming down into a zone, or it is already in a zone where you want to buy, such as the daily pivot, if it's the lows, obviously, you don't want to trade in no man's land in the middle of nowhere. So you want the price to be at a low when you're going up with it, right? And remember, we had targets up here, 2051, and we had those previous targets if you're following the week. And we said Friday is also a swing day for gold. And I said Monday was also a swing day for gold. So if you think about it, that's here we've got Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday. So Monday was the low of the week, as you can see. Week starts off with a big impulse wave, market going sideways and then pushing up. And then once again, another impulse wave. If you've learned technical analysis from me, you know what's going on here. Another impulse wave, market going sideways, and then the market buying where it needs to buy, as we've learned in technical analysis before. And that becomes, once it's a level, and that's your Astro hour there. So if I make this a little bigger, you understand that the market, where are we? On Thursday, here we are. Look, this is the Astro hour where the market taps before. Now, once at the Astro hour, it taps in there, right? There's only one thing that's going to happen. This thing is going to return, or it's going to break down. Now, the beauty about this is because we've already marked the zone, any time after this, buying in the lows here is okay with your stop loss just under the zone. The beauty is the stop loss is really tight. And even if we've made a mistake astrologically or technically, your stop loss is really, really small. More often than not, you're going to definitely cover the trade, because once it comes into an Astro hour and takes off, the retracement is like an opportunity. Okay, if you haven't gone in there, you can go back in your smaller time frame by using technical analysis methods we use. It's a pullback, and then you can just go in with it. Once you go in, you can just put your stop loss under the low. Once the trade is covered, that's it. It's a free trade. If the market is going up, like I said with gold, on the weekly as well, see where we're going. This is what we drew, remember? And I said this has got room to go. It's just going up on the monthly as well. Look at that. 64, 2,109, and here I already drew that 2,070 there before. So we've got targets going up into that. So in 2,070 was here, and that's a level we drew ages ago. Okay, so the market, look what happens. It comes to 2,070 zone at the Astro hour. So once we're here at the Astro hour, and what did I say on Friday? I made a comment, didn't I? Let's see. I said these are the Astro hours, and move should end at a good level for a swing for next week at these hours. So I'm expecting the market to go up at least until 9:20 to 10:15 and so on. So 9:15 is there, and that's your 9:20 there. So the market goes up there into that zone. So I'm expecting at least the market to push up into that zone if it swings, and it has right there. So this gave us a good opportunity to go into the market twice on Friday. Once here, which gives you enough reason to take profit. And there's a gap here, so the market is bound to come back. When is the hour that we're expecting? Here it is. Market comes back, dips back into our purple zone there, which I drew manually, by the way. And then it goes back up again. Look at this. This is the Astro hour where the market hits the target. And also it is the time when the market breaks out. And that breakout is right there at 5:45. Now this is 5:45 on the platform. The platform, as you know, is 1 hour behind during winter time. So that's 6:57.10 when the market comes into that level there. Okay. And that's basically how to follow it through. Now, because the market's going up, we're expecting gold to go up, right? And we're expecting the market to come to our Saturn and Mercury line here as well. I said this is a good zone which the market should tap back into and square out here. So this just happened nice and easy. All right. Now, if you take a look at SP 500, this was our zone. With SP 500, remember, we're looking to sell the highs. So this was not a surprise. But this week, I said with the indices, all 5 days are tricky. Why? Because on NASDAQ, we had 3 days, I think, on the swing days. And on SP 500, we had 2 days. And it covered the whole week. So it was like, okay, so it's going to be a little tricky. What happened, SP 500? If you take a look at that, I said the support of the day is 4555. Market comes into here at an Astro hour. And look, here it has broken above. I said this is not a bad place to sell. If you sold here, you would have been stopped out with a tight stop loss. Once the market broke out, this now becomes a breaker block, which means I need to come back and go up. Okay, why? Because I can retest the high of yesterday, and I can also, let's see here, on the weekly it's done all the targets. On the monthly, we have a breakout. Okay, and the price we can expect is 4597, still there. So if the market does not sell here or here, okay, obviously it's broken out. Now here you should not have sold. Why? Because let's make this a little bigger. As you can see here, these are Astro hours where the market picked up from the daily pivot. So these Astro hours actually showed us the low. These Astro hours showed us also the low. And once the market broke up, that's it. Once it goes up, it turns around here and breaks that block. Then your next target is there. And this is why I wrote we should end at a good level for swing for next week. Okay, what does that tell you? Market should be pushing to a swing level for next week, and that can only be higher. Okay, once it breaks out, that's the way it is. So that was like the way to go on that one. Do you understand how things are working out here? This is why we need technical analysis. We need to understand where the good prices are, the good price to get in here. And if it broke this level and it needed to break this level, it didn't do that, then we could have retraced to sell off, but it didn't. So it kept that support and it broke out here above this zone here. So this zone is now irrelevant for us. And it's made a high, breaking the high of the day before and closing above it, giving us a sign that's saying, well, if it retraces, might be a good idea to go up, and it certainly was. Also, here as well, it gave you 2 opportunities to enter right there. Okay, so That's also good. Let's take a look at the euro dollar. Now look what happened to the euro dollar. Yesterday I said this zone, the weekly daily pivot, this area is okay to sell. And your manipulation for the break was this bar. Okay, so if you know technical analysis from us, this zone is your kill zone. Any sell here at Astro hours, you have to put the stop loss up there, just above the weekly. Okay. And the market comes down into an Astro hour, bounces up a little bit, comes back down and breaks down, and then it goes all the way down into this Astro hour. Okay. Once the breakdown happens on the Astro hour, a pullback is your key to short to the next level. Why? What's the 108.37? Where'd that come from? That came from our PST targets and this LCL1, if you're using it, 1.0837. So this is why if you use the 8 a.m. strategy, and some of you are, you see where the prices are really accurate. It's just like, this is going to come back here. The price for that is that. And, well, there you go. So now you know where to get out of a trade. And if it comes there at an Astro hour, where to get back in the other way. So then the market comes down into the Astro hours, right to that target. That's a bingo trade, because now you can go long all the way to that PST level, okay, which we marked in when we were doing the technical analysis as well. And that's also the opening. Look what happens. It comes back to that price at the Astro hours, okay, and that's it. And then Friday is market closing after 2 hours or so. So you don't want to be sticking around this Friday. You want to take the profit and just go and call it a day. This setup for all of them, you see these will happen every time, all the time. If you're learning technical analysis with us, you understand our bigger time frame approach. You understand why we're using certain price levels calculated by PST, and how all of this sets in with our technical analysis approach. Then on the smaller time frame also, what do we have? We've got the hours. Okay. If your hour matches the technical analysis level, those are the zones to trade. You don't want to be trading in no man's land. Sometimes I say this is no man's land. You don't want to be mucking around there. For example, if it's in the middle of nowhere, right? For example, on Thursday, these are Astro hours which we're looking for. Okay, I can understand this. It's below the opening, market sells off, comes into these Astro hours, mucks around here a little bit, goes back up, and then sells down. But look, until the market sells back down into our zone, because this is when we marked it in. Remember, watch Thursday, Wednesday's videos, right? And then what happens is this: market comes down here. And then this is an Astro hour. So you got the Astro hour, which is tapping in to your technical analysis zone. If it doesn't, why bother taking the risk? Why would you? Just leave it alone. Leave it alone. We already have direction. We want to go long. So we understand where we want to go long. And if it happens at an Astro hour, which we're anticipating, then that's it. And that's the direction you should be going in. You should be going in the direction of your bias. Sometimes our bias can be both ways. So sometimes we buy and sell. Why? Because sometimes I say if the market goes up first, sell down, or if it comes down first, buy to go up. Why? Because the market will want to, more often than not, test the liquidity on the previous day high or low, or the previous week's highs and lows, or the months. You guys know where I am coming from, right? It's stuff we've learned before. So the market will want to do that every day somehow, unless it's consolidating, going sideways, where it's an inside candle, right, in between the extended candle, all right, in between a big candle. So unless the market is consolidating, we can understand where the market's going to go, and I can go with that flow. All right. And if I've got the bias in direction, then any retracement into my Astro hours where it's a good price or a decent price according to my technical analysis, then I can push to go in, and that makes a safe trade. With financial astrology and technical analysis together, more often than not, you will cover your trade very nicely. And as you can see, you'll get at least one to two. At least one to two. The reason for that is when there is a bounce because of financial astrology at a technical price, you're going to get at least one to two because you're getting inside a zone where the stop loss is really tight. You can get at least one to two, one to three, even with these small moves on a 15-minute chart, and you can cover your trade as well immediately because it's always giving you some kind of a push. So this is like really the best way to trade. And if you already have a target like up there somewhere, market makes a good impulse wave up, comes back to retest the low of yesterday. This is where it's trying to retest the low of yesterday. So this is why I say if it comes into an Astro hour, then you can go long with it because we've got targets at the top, at the higher end. Right? So this is why it's worthwhile putting your hours and your prices, and then you want to target them at the right price and time entry, and that should give you a really, really good risk return ratio. Okay, so if you get them together and don't rush, because I see also sometimes people in the club, they want to get into every Astro hour. You can't do that. You want to get in when the price and time are matching. Okay. And if you spend all your days like this, even if the market is going sideways, you're going to be okay. Because even if the market is going sideways and you don't know the direction, you're going to buy a low and sell a high. If they match Astro hours, you've got a really great chance, probability of that trade covering and making a profit 1 to 2, 1 to 3, 1 to 4 at least, because of the tight stop loss. Okay, so I hope this sheds a bit more light. I'll try to do more examples every now and then, so you understand also how I'm using the ATAM strategy. Like without the ATAM strategy, I've got no pricing. Okay, so if I don't have a price, I'm like, well, what's going to happen? So the pricing is really important. Where we're going to break out is important. Where the support for the week is important. Where the support of the day is important. What are the targets if we keep pushing down? So all of these things, really make sense once you put them all together. Same with the SP 500. If I understand this is the support of today, 71, that was 4555 all the way down there. If I understand this is the support of the day, and here we are at the Astro hours, that's it. All I have to do is either get in here or wait for the move, the retracement coming right back into another Astro hour and just push it. Okay. So a bit of patience, but you see, we don't have to have a lot of patience either because we know the hours. Everybody's sitting in front of the computer thinking, well, how my setup's going to work? If we're using the Astro hours, you just come back to check what's happening at those hours. So you're not stuck in front of the computer as well. And that's when the action is going to happen. So you don't have to sit and wait. Okay, I hope this clarifies a little bit of how we're doing stuff. Like I said, I'll make a few more videos like this every now and then, like short videos to kind of like set us back in line as to how to use financial astrology with technical analysis and the hours and the pricing and the swing days.